Congratulations. Take me through the race for you.
Well, this race in New England's obviously, and going into this race, it's like all the other ones. My favorite thing is to lead. And 2 weeks ago to Coast, there was that big group of like 30 people all in that first mile. And I think in Coast to Coast, we went through the first mile like in 4:40 something, 4:41, 4:42, and that's pretty fast. And this race, my whole plan was I want to go for that W. It's my last semester, last cross-country season, and basically whatever we do for the next couple of races, that's the end of my college career for running. So I said I have to stay relaxed, go through the race, work through, stay comfortable, and when I feel that moment that it's time to go and pick up the pace, that's exactly what I did. I said, okay, here we go. I feel it. Let's get it.
When was that moment?
That was right about, so this course, it's basically a lot of it in the field, and you go into the wilderness, the back loops in the woods about twice. So I remember from Coast to Coast, when I went in the second time, I felt horrible. For the lactic acid building up. I started beating myself up, slowed down, people are passing me. So I said this whole race, as long as I can feel comfortable going into that second wilderness loop, I should be okay to get a good finish at the end. So I did, I felt comfortable. Me and Paul, we did exactly what Coach said. When you get to that 5K mark, start picking up people, and if not, lead. Go for it, push the pace. And that's what we did. And right when we got up to Bear Cage, where pretty much that's the biggest hill in the course, started picking it up there. Then when we get to the top, we go down, come back to the field, and there's the finish. I said, okay, right when I go up to that Bear Cage, I'm going to work up it and then start kicking little by little.
Do you realize the size lead you had coming down that home stretch? Because you look like you're running as though you assumed somebody was right on your heels.
Yeah, look, when I was talking to you earlier, I said I thought they were right behind me. So I said, I see the finish line. If I'm leading now, I can't have somebody pass me. I can't. So I said, I just got to book it. I just got to shut my eyes and go.
What did it feel like when you realized you hit the finish line? You'd won this. What did it feel like?
Is that feeling when you cross the line and you win the championship? It's pretty much a feeling where, like, when you first take off the race, you don't know what's going to happen in the race. Because you say, okay, I got that 8K to go. It's a long way into the woods. There's branches on the ground, rocks. Am I going to roll my ankle? Am I going to fall back? And am I going to get an auction debt? Am I going to be good? So when you cross the line and you find, like, okay, I did it. There was no one next to me. I conquered that accomplishment. It's just a big feeling of accomplishment. It feels so great knowing all the hard work you put in every day and you do something like that.
Terrific. Again, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby Allen won the New England Championship. I know you're not supposedly sentimental as a coach, but in a lot of ways I think today was giving him a chance to do that.
Yeah, today he wasn't real sharp at Coast to Coast, and neither was Paul. So those were the two guys, and Daharan. Those were the three guys out of the top 7 that we decided to race today on the men's side. And, we knew that they would have a chance to win it, but I wanted them to run really controlled for the first 3.5 miles. Just stay behind whoever was there, not lead, not do a lot of work, because we have a big race again next weekend. So it worked out perfect that, Bobby felt really good and, really put it away hard over the last 1,000 meters of the race. And, if I was going to pick one of them to win today, you pick the senior instead of the sophomore. So both of them ran well and exactly how I asked them to run. And, pulling out the win is a nice bonus.
It's a win for competitiveness. I got the feeling that today, especially to talking to Bobby about it, it was a win for strategy.
Yeah, that was absolutely, running smart and running tactical and not using it, not going to the well and using 100% of what we have because, next week is obviously a big race for us. So, getting the win with as least effort as possible, I guess is kind of what we were looking for, and that's exactly what we got. He had a ton left at the end. They both looked phenomenal through 4.5 miles. They both looked like they were well within themselves, which is what we were looking for. So we can't be more pleased than a win.
What makes Bobby a special runner?
His competitiveness. You can see he just hates losing. He hates losing an interval in practice to anybody, never mind a race. So he's just a super competitive kid that has worked really hard. And, he was our first IC4A champion, and I think now he's our first New England champion. So two pretty nice things to hang your hat on.
and Paul Hogan fourth, and ran a terrific race. I know he was a little down on himself when I talked to him afterwards, as he really wants to push like Bobby, very competitive.
Yeah.
But boy, he ran a good race too.
Yeah, and I really, to Paul's strengths, I didn't let him really run to his strengths. His strength is running hard, early on and just, grinding it out and grinding it out and grinding it out. And I didn't really allow him to do that today. So I didn't really let him play to his strengths, to have a chance to win, with next week on the calendar. And, that was, in the back of all of our heads. So, I didn't really let him play to his strengths. So, he can be mad at me if he wants, but it was exactly what he needed right now, is just to get a little bit more race sharpness and get him ready for next week and obviously in 3 weeks at the conference championship.
Overall for the men's team, what did you think?
I thought we ran pretty well. I put a lot of kids that we haven't really tested a lot in the past. Obviously Daharan is tested, and he ran 40 or 45 seconds faster than he did 2 weeks ago. So we were pleased with that. And then after that, it was just a lot of young guys that I gave a chance to get their first championship experience, and they did a nice job. It wasn't perfect, but rarely is it. So we were pleased overall with the effort that they put in.